Hi, so this first video is just going to introduce you a little bit to the Photoshop workspace and try to reduce the intimidation factor of looking at this screen once you launch your Photoshop. So you can see that I'm dealing with Adobe Photoshop CC. Mine is 2015. Yours could look slightly different, but I don't think that the tools we're going to discuss today should matter. So if we're all working in CC, that should be good. So what do we see here? Initially, or over on the left-hand side, is an array of tools displayed vertically. There's some little tiny triangles up at the top. If you'd like, for some reason, to have them displayed differently, you can click on those, and then they take up a little bit more space, a little bit more of your workspace. So I would not recommend doing that, but perhaps if you are working on a smaller screen, that would be helpful. But if I click that again, it'll demonstrate it, depict it, display it as that vertical strip once more. Each of these tools has a modest, teeny tiny little triangle in the corner. And if you hold that down, it actually will show you that there are additional tools embedded beneath it. Photoshop is such a ginormous program. There's so much going on here that in order for us to have access with just a few clicks to these tools, they really have to embed them in this way. So underneath this eyedropper tool, you'll see that there's actually quite a few more. Adobe tends to put the most important tools up there on the surface, so that's helpful. And then you just would know or begin to learn that beneath this eyeball tool called the red eye, you actually come across a few others. So what else might we see on our screen? And in fact, yours might not look like this. Yours might have a different layout of these palettes. So this is sort of referred to as the window. And up at the top here, my mouse there's running across the top menus, there is a window option or a window tab. So let's click on that and we're going to come to workspace. So window workspace, and this is going to define what palettes are open at the time that you're working. So right now, maybe yours is also set here into the essentials default. What the essentials default is giving us is some of the important ones. Over here we have layers and history. You'll hear about those in a moment. They're helpful. And down here we have properties. So you could go and see, hey, I actually intend on doing some motion. I'm going to do some video work, some animation work with Photoshop. If you click on the motion workspace, it's going to give you a whole nother set of tools. Some of these are embedded. Additionally, if you thought, oh, I'm going to be working with photography primarily, it'll give you different tools for that. So here's a shortcut to that as well. Over on the upper left, see where it says photography, that's actually a shortcut to the workspace. Here's a neat thing. If you wanted to, you could say new works. Well, let's go back to the essentials first. Let's say this is where you like your essentials, and let's say you're going to dock, let's say you want to, I just messed that up. Sorry. Let's say there's your layers, and you also want to, I'm going to bring this back out there. Let's say you like having your layers down here in the lower left for some reason, and you like having your properties up here in the upper right. This is not how I would do it, but I'm just trying to prove a point here. You could go Windows, Workspace, New Workspace. What this is going to do is let you name it. I'm going to call it Dove Favorite. And just say save it. And let's say you share a computer or you are switching between workspaces of photography and workspaces of motion, the video work. And then you're like, oh no, I want to go back to my favorite one. It is actually now saved for you, Dove Favorite. And that includes not just the palettes that are open, but the fact that you liked your history over on the left, or this layers and history palette, you liked it over there on the left. So that is now saved within that Dove Favorite workspace. So that's a little bit about the basic tools of Photoshop. Each of these drop-down menus has more and more and more things embedded in it. When they're grayed out like this, it just means they couldn't possibly be active right now. We don't have a file open. But all of these options will become vital tools and will become available to you once you start opening up documents. So let's leave it at that for now.